September 17th, the 32-year-old former accounting on star shared a video to her YouTube account in which she discussed getting back into shape following the birth of her son, Edward Owen, in July. Due to her higher weight gain this pregnancy compared to her previous ones, Jenna mentioned that she intends to use a fitness app. When I'm pregnant, I typically put on at least 40 pounds, so that's my weight loss story. I gained more than 45 pounds during my pregnancy with Edward. Jenna says after giving birth, dealing with a large baby, the placenta, water retention, and the effects of summer, I would estimate that half of that weight has gone. Still, I keep telling myself, man, I'm not even halfway there yet. After realizing she still has to lose around 20 pounds, the pleased mother says she plans to start exercising regularly and eating healthily in the hopes that the numbers go down. It never goes down as fast as I want it to, she confesses. I make an effort not to let it get to me. Ask Ben, he'll likely tell you, I worry about it too much. Everyone will tell you to give your body time though. Having a baby is a 9-month journey. In the same amount of time that it took you 9 months to gain weight, Duggar predicts that it will take you 9 months to feel fantastic again. I'm trying not to stress about it too much. Even more frustrating is the fact that nothing fits anymore when she tries to put on her clothes. I already went out and did a little quick shopping run to just find some clothes that fit better. Some shirts, some jeans, whatever, Duggar adds. Unfortunately, I always end up thinking, this doesn't look good after I go home and put them on. Tell me again why I made this purchase. These are hideous. Relax, Ben says. You are perfectly healthy because you just had a baby. Just relax. Nothing fits, I think to myself. I simply am not one of those people who 6 weeks after giving birth can still be seen wearing the same clothes they wore before, Duggar clarifies. The mother of 5, though, insists that she doesn't compare herself to others since she understands that every circumstance is unique. Definitely not. Everyone is unique. The timelines of individuals are unique, remarks Duggar. Age also brings its own unique challenges. As I've mentioned previously, this was my first workout while pregnant. Yet here I am, even heavier than before. I was hoping for a smaller gain in weight. It looks like muscle to me. Very unlikely. Edward Owen was Jessa Duggar Seawald's 6th child, and she was prepared for the love, difficulties, and transformation that he would bring into her life when she welcomed him in July. But even a mother who is accustomed to the spotlight, constant change in public life, will tell you that postpartum isn't always sunshine and rainbows. In a recent video, Jessa spoke up about dealing with postpartum body image issues, including excess fat, baggy clothing, and the emotional ups and downs of attempting to bounce back. An unprecedentedly large pregnancy. Weight gain is one of the many things that pregnant women anticipate. This pregnancy felt different, though, according to Jessa. Compared to her previous pregnancies, this one was slightly heavier, gaining an estimated 45 pounds. But here's the interesting part. She also exercised while pregnant, which was a first for her. She began to question if part of her increased weight was due to the baby and aging-related changes, water retention, or muscle. Morphological changes occur over time, and pregnancy is just the same. Following delivery, progress made, but much more remains. Many expectant mothers falsely believe that the bulk of their body weight will disappear shortly after giving birth due to the baby, the placenta, water weight, etc. Jessa boasts that she has lost about half of her pregnancy weight, which is encouraging, but she still claims to want to shed another 20 or so pounds. The slow rate of weight loss, nevertheless, is the source of her growing discontent. Her confession, "It never goes down as fast as I want it to," is a common experience for women. Factors such as rest, mending, adjusting, and hormonal adjustments are at odds with the ideal timescale promoted by social media and bounce-back stories. Things to wear, self-assurance, and evaluation. Jessa has found dealing with the clothing to be particularly challenging. It could take a lot of patience to try on clothes that were worn before you were pregnant. She has shopped quickly for what she believes will be transitional pieces that fit better now, but the dispatch from the mirror may still hurt. "They aren't attractive," she remarked. "What was I thinking when I purchased this? What a dump these are." Reassurance has come from her husband, Ben. "You literally just gave birth to a human, so you're fine," he says, whenever she's feeling down about her appearance or her fitness level. Stay calm. The practice of self-compassion relies on these tiny acts of kindness. The public and those in her immediate vicinity have a tendency to assume that women will recover rapidly, but the reality is that not everybody functions that way. Perspective, age, and evolution. Things feel different now compared to previous pregnancies, especially as Jessa becomes older, and this is a major subject in her comments. Even though she exercised while pregnant for the first time, she still managed to acquire a little more weight. The question that nags at her is whether the increased exertion resulted in a different metabolism, a greater muscle, or just a different reaction from her body throughout each pregnancy. As she navigates life after giving birth, she plans to use a fitness app. She makes it plain that she isn't looking for quick fixes, but rather long-term improvements, a return to her old self or a near identical one, and kindness. As she puts it, everybody's timeline is different, something that helped one woman during her pregnancy and subsequent recovery may not do the trick for another woman, you or even me. A crash course on emotions, frustration, disappointment, longing, and acceptance are the feelings that lay beneath the statistics. Pounds gained, inches lost, days postpartum. She feels let down every time she puts on an item of clothing that doesn't fit. You can sense a twinge of jealousy if you reach a milestone that other people appear to be making far more quickly. Additionally, there is self-awareness. Jessa realizes that she might worry about it too much. The world's and social media's unrealistic expectations of new mothers, including quick bounce backs, immaculate fitness, and picture-perfect bodies, are part of the problem, she says. When all you desire is to regain your sense of self, such expectations can be particularly burdensome. Although she has spoken publicly about letting go of severe expectations, her mental health, self-image, and confidence are nevertheless affected by things like clothes, fitness, and recovery. A better fit in clothing, an increase in strength, or the ability to perceive subtle changes are all examples of small triumphs towards the future. Practical objectives and generosity. It appears that Jessa is choosing a more kinder way forward. She intends to continue eating properly, utilize a fitness app, which will provide more structure than before, and perhaps cut down on comparison. She would like to see a decrease in the numbers, but she is concerned about how to do it without hindering her body's ability to heal. She wants to make sure she and her listeners remember that the body's job isn't done when the baby is born. It takes time to heal, adjust, have energy again, sleep to the extent that a nurse with numerous children can sleep, and rebuild strength. Kindness toward oneself should be prioritized, above all else, much more so than any diet or exercise program. The lessons we can gain. For all the mothers to be out there, Jessa's forthrightness is incredibly comforting. At the very least, it demonstrates that it's normal to be frustrated. The insecurity that comes from staring at one's reflection and missing one's before self isn't superficial. It's completely normal. There's no simple path to recovery. Pregnancy builds on previous ones, and aging introduces new baseline changes to the body. One should not be led astray by external expectations. It is not a sign of failure that some mothers do not bounce back after 6 weeks. A strong tool is self-compassion. There was a stairway to true healing that is paved with supportive words, quiet time, and acceptance expressed by herself. Several parts of Jessa's video stood out. During my pregnancy with Edward, I put on about 45 pounds. There's still a long way to go. It never decreases at the rate I desire. I refuse to be a bounce-back lady who 6 weeks after giving birth wears the same clothes she wore before she got pregnant. Everyone is unique. Timelines vary from person to person. Final reflections. Speaking as Jessa Duggar does, she's not only reporting on celeb news. Rather, she's expressing what many new mothers experience but seldom discuss. The gradual transformation that occurs after giving birth, the peer pressure to go back to before, and the inner conflict between striving for perfection and being graceful. Motherhood may change your body, but it can't change your spirit.
As her story shows also, it's not necessary for there to be a huge leap forward in terms of physical or mental recovery for it to be significant. A beautiful and powerful transformation can sometimes be the grace we show ourselves, the patience for gradual change, the acceptance of our frustrations, and the kindness we see reflected back at us in the mirror. Work.